This is Muirbridge. Are you receiving me? Over. Bonjour. Ici Muirbridge. Pouvez-vous m'entendre? Au-dessous. Guten Tag. Herr Muirbridge. Können Sie mich hören? Über.
Here are the votes of the Norwegian jury. Monaco, 0 points. Monaco, no points. Monaco, sod all points.
Colin, would you be quiet? This is important. Buongiorno. Ecco Muirbridge. Può udirmi? Sopra?
You sound like you're pissed.
Colin, this is serious business. There may be survivors in other countries now. We have to try and contact them, wherever they may be in the world.
Well, you don't have to talk to them in a foreign language. They all speak English. And if they don't, they bloody should do.
Do you know, it's a pity I don't speak Chinese. Because if there are pockets of survivors dotted about the globe, statistically, the majority of them will be Chinese.
Who says?
Oh, bound to be, Colin. You see, the Chinese people far outnumbered every other nation on Earth. Oh, yes. 1 in 3 people was Chinese.
Never.
Ah, yes. Simple fact.
What about the Beverly sisters? Which one of them was Chinese?
A bit preposterous. Oh, yes, mankind will survive. And I'm fairly optimistic that Janet will have children and provide us with future generations. Glad as if Graham can play his part.
He doesn't look like he's up to it.
No. Well, fingers crossed. We must give him every encouragement. But if it doesn't work out and they can't produce children in the near future, then we should have a contingency plan. That's why we mustn't neglect the rest of the world. Now, for the time being, do you know, I think I should concentrate on Europe. You see, there must be isolated communities in the Alps, Bavaria, the Pyrenees, after all. If we survived, why not them?
We're English.
Yes, I grant you that, Colin. Historically speaking, the English nation is more durable than most.
I bet no one survived in Belgium.
Oh, why do you say that?
Well, if I was Belgian, I wouldn't have bothered. I went there once with Dave Perry. It was really boring. There was nothing to do. Must be bloody awful being Belgian. Imagine waking up in the morning. You get out of bed. You feel all right. You stick your head out the window. It's a beautiful day. Everything's going great. And then you think, oh, shit, I'm Belgian.
No, there won't be anyone left in Belgium.
Graham, wake up. It's time for bed. Any luck?
Not so far.
He's been talking to Europe tonight, but there's no one in.
Oh, I was well away there. I was in the middle of a loft conversion at Buckingham Palace. For some reason, Robin Day was there having an argument with my Uncle Roger. Something about emulsion paint. Funny things you dream about.
I usually have this dream where I'm staying in this big hotel and these 2 women just knock on my door and... Well, I'll tell you later.
Now, Graham, I've been thinking about our radio. Now, you're a bit of a do-it-yourself expert, aren't you?
Oh, yes. Graham's very good with his hands.
Now, I'm not an expert by any means, but I'm sure that there must be some way of extending its range, boosting the signal somehow. I don't know, perhaps we could bounce it off the ionosphere or...
The sideboard.
Shut up, Colin. You see, I was wondering, allowing for the curvature of the Earth, whether or not our signal isn't being weakened, diminished, somehow, I don't know, perhaps it's maybe even drifting off into outer space. What would you say was the effective range of this transmitter?
About 200 yards. You got that radio from Charlie Hanslip's minicab firm. He was bloody hopeless, Charlie. He didn't know the way anyway. He overcharged you and his radio never worked.
I was talking to Graham. Graham?
I don't know anything about radios.
I've done some radio work with the Cubs for the communicator badge.
Really?
Yes, we did semaphore, bit of Morse code, and I showed them how to transmit sound.
So you're familiar with the workings of a radio transmitter, are you?
Well, what we made was a little simpler than this, but it had a very effective range. You could go around corners. What you do is you get 2 tin cans and a long piece of string.
I was hoping to contact China.
Oh, well, that might be a bit difficult.
I don't think there's anyone left anyway. I don't know why we keep bothering. Every day we get on the radio, go up the hill, sit by the beacon, and nothing happens. What's the point?
Now, Colin, let's have none of this nil disparandum. I'm sure there are
They're
thousands
all
of...
dead. There's no one left. If there was anyone left, they'd have turned up by now.
We turned up.
Yeah, but that's just you two. 2 people in 12 months. It's not exactly a stampede, is it? And you've been all around the country looking for people.
That's true, and we didn't see anybody.
Oh, we thought we saw a dog in Chelmsford.
Yeah, it wasn't a dog, though. Turned out to be a bin liner with some bricks in. You know, it was all waving about. We thought,
Oh, that's why we have to cast our net wider. You see, there's a whole world out there.
Graham and I went abroad once. Belgium. It was very nice. So I don't think we'd go there again. Anyway, Graham, you ready for bed?
Well, in a bit. There's no hurry, is there?
Yes, right. Anyway. Come on, Colin. Now it's time for us to be off to the hill.
Do we have to?
Yes, yes. Duty calls. We have to keep our vigil, and Mr. and Mrs. Wilkins have to... Well, come on, Colin, get your coat.
I don't know why we bother.
I'll say good night then, and good luck.
All right then, Graham?
Yeah, I'm all right.
No, I mean, are you ready for bed?
Do you mean bed, or do you mean bed?
Well, I meant bed, but if you feel like bed, well...
No, it's all right, thank you. I just as soon read.
Graham, we ought to, you know.
Look, I can't just do it to order, you know.
Well, I don't enjoy it any more than you do. But we've got to keep trying.
Oh, heck. Well, I'm taking my book up with me.
Shall I bring up the tin of golden syrup again?
You know, Colin, on a day like this, I have to believe there's a providence that guides us. Just look at it all.
I've seen it before.
I've a growing conviction there are people out there desperate to get in touch with us. Well, with me. It's just a question of making contact. Who knows what lies beyond that hill?
I do. It's another hill.
Shut up, Colin. I wasn't asking you. It was a rhetorical question.
Pardon?
One that doesn't require an answer. Not from you, anyway. Colin, look.
Yeah?
Do you know what that is?
Do you require an answer?
Pillar box.
Yeah, I know it's a flaming pillar box.
Trollope invented the pillar box. As well as being one of the greatest figures in 19th century literature, that man invented the pillar box.
Good for him.
Well, don't you see? It's symbolic of man's desire to communicate with his fellow man. Oh, it's an inspiration, you know. Throughout the ages, men of vision have pushed back the frontiers of communication. William Caxton, Dr. Johnson, Alexander Graham Bell.
Yeah. Morning, Ted. Morning, Colin. How is he? Oh, he's bad today, Ted. He's getting worked up about a pillar box.
Fires across England to warn of the coming armada. The pounding beat of the talking drums. Apache's smoke signals. They're all emblematic of man's desire to break out of his isolation. You see, Colin, our mission now is to reach out across the continents, to discover new worlds.
To boldly go where no man has gone before.
Yes, indeed. Oh, it's a mammoth task. The sheer scale of it would daunt many a man.
But not you.
No. Now, I shall think of something. Now, what I've got to discover is a new means of communication. Or an old means of communication. Balloons.
Pardon?
Balloons. Why I didn't think of it before, I'll never know. It's so simple. It's breathtaking. Don't you see? Hundreds of thousands of balloons with messages, our whereabouts and so on, borne aloft and carried to the four corners of the earth.
What a bloody stupid idea.
Don't you see, Colin? In some foreign land, a man or a woman might see a balloon.
Let's hope it's a woman.
It falls to the earth. They read our message. We've made contact. A new dawn, Colin. A new dawn.
I knew a Dawn once. Wonder if it's the same one.
Pardon?
She worked for the council. School dinner lady.
What you talking about?
Dawn Langley. Nice girl. Never wore a bra.
Colin, there are times when I fear you're suffering from what doctors call brain death.
Daft idea, Colin. I know it is, Ted, but what can you do? You should tell him you're not going to do it. If he wants 5,000 balloons, assorted colours, he should get them himself. I know. Well, why don't you tell him? Look, I don't know what you're getting on at me for, Ted. I just don't like the way he has you for a mug, Colin. You know what these remind me of? Christmas. New Year's Eve at the Waverley. You always had balloons, didn't you, Ted? Oh, yes. Balloons, streamers, holly, bit of the old mistletoe. Yeah. We had some good times, didn't we? It was like family to me. I miss all that. I miss you, Ted.
I got all the luggage labels I could find. I hope there'll be enough. Oh, it's fun, this, isn't it? You should be good at writing these labels, shouldn't you? Well, you being a sign writer. I bet you put us all to shame. Pens. Have you got any felt tips?
Sideboard.
Right, the helium's in the van. Ryan's didn't have any, so we had to go to GCP in Keswick. Oh, well done, Janet. These are just the ticket.
They were quite dear, I'm afraid. £42. I left an IOU, like you said.
Well done, that's the idea.
You're mad, you. I don't know why we still have to pay for things.
Now, Colin, we've been through all this before. Normal life must go on. If we were to take something without paying for it, that would be theft. And I'm not having a great enterprise marred by a felony. Now, come and sit down and write some labels. Right. Are we all settled? Good. Now, what we've got to decide is what we're going to put on our labels.
Well, perhaps we could...
Now, I've been giving the matter some thought, and I think you're going to like what I've come up with. Now, what we've got to remember is that our message could be picked up by anyone, anywhere. So we have to devise some universal form of expression. Now, I did toy with Esperanto.
Who?
It's a common language.
Oh, I don't think we want anything common.
Yeah, no, when I say common, I don't mean... look, forget it.
Can you speak Esperanto?
Me?
Yeah, can you?
Well, we're not doing it in Esperanto. I decided against it.
You can't.
The point is, how do you communicate with someone who might not speak your language?
I saw this film once where they were trying to get in touch with aliens.
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah,
But
they had this sort of tune. Do, 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 do.
I saw that. It was good. Do, 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 do,
Look, does it matter? I'm not proposing a singing telegram.
I used to like going to the pictures.
Colin, that's enough. Now, look, I'll show you what we're going to put. On one side, side A, we put my name and address. On the other...
Why have we got to put your name?
It's my house.
I want to put my name.
No, Colin. Sorry, no.
Well, I'm not writing this. Brian Appleyard, B.A. Why have we got to put B.A.?
Well, they'll want to know they're dealing with an intelligent man, not any old riffraff.
All right, then. I'm writing Colin Garrity, CSE Art.
Let me just get on with it. Now, that's one side. Side A. Now, on the other...
Side B?
Yes. We have a simple pictorial message. We have the number 4 for the 4 of us, and a drawing of 3 men and 1 woman.
How do you know it's a woman?
She's got a dress on.
But you know, I don't really wear dresses like that. To be honest, I'm happier in slacks.
But don't you see, these are symbols that are known throughout the world. You see them everywhere on lavatory doors.
If you like, I could draw you a woman in slacks, but you'd still know it as a woman because she'd have very big...
No! Copy that.
What are those numbers there?
Well, that's our map reference, so they'll know exactly where we are.
Why have you got this at the bottom? RSVP.
Well, we want to encourage them to come and join us. Might not be ideal, but it's pretty international.
Well, I think it's very nice.
Thank you.
I think it's a pile.
It doesn't matter what you think, just copy that.
We had a balloon race for our Silver Jubilee fete. Dorothy Everson organised it. She did it very well. First prize was a hostess trolley. We got 1 card back from Tunisia. That was the furthest. Mind you, we found out the fellow had been cheating. Apparently he'd taken it with him on his holidays. So the trolley went to the runner-up. He came from Roehampton Road.
Close Encounters of the Third Kind, that's it.
Good film. Do-do-do-do-do-do.
What's this?
What?
The Right Honourable Colin Garrity, MBE CSE Art, Captain of Barrow Rugby League Club.
What about it?
It's rubbish.
It's as good as yours.
Handsome male seats fun-loving lady for mutual pleasure. Pathetic. This drawing is biologically impossible.
Can I let one go?
In a minute, maybe. Godspeed.
There's not much gas left.
No matter. Many hundreds have this day set forth on a great journey.
And I haven't let any of them go.
Whither thou goest, I will go.
Getting a blister on my finger with all this tying.
That's a lot. There isn't enough to finish this one.
Give it to me, Colin. I'll finish it off. You know, a little part of us goes with these balloons. Wherever in the world they may land, there shall we be also. There is some corner of a foreign field.
British forever England.
You see, the balloons themselves are a visible sign of life. Even if someone doesn't receive our message, but merely sees a balloon floating by, they'll know they're not alone. Yes, I'll have given them hope and inspiration, Colin.
How far do you think they'll go?
Well, if they're caught by the breeze, carried along by the currents, the trade winds, who knows how far?
Australia?
Well, yes, it's possible.
Do you think there'll be any survivors in Australia?
Who knows? It's a vast continent.
I hope not.
Sorry?
They always used to beat us at rugby league. Bastards.
Do you know, I hadn't given much thought to the Antipodes. Yeah. It could well be that the chances of survival are much greater on the other side of the world. Australia, New Zealand.
Papua New Guinea?
Well, yes. A remote, inaccessible island. There could be hundreds of survivors.
Oh, good. They were hopeless. We always used to murder them. See, their forwards were much too small. They only had one good player, Balnumapo.
What?
Balnumapo. The rest were crap.
Colin, rugby league isn't the be-all and the end-all of everything.
It is in Papua New Guinea. It's their national game. And they're no bloody good at it.
Even as we speak, those balloons are carrying a message of hope to foreign lands. I've put a girdle round the earth, Colin.
Oh?
It's death.
Oh. Do you really think they'll go that far?
Indeed I do. They could go all the way round the world.
What, and end up back here?
Well...
What a waste of bloody time, then.
Not With a Bang returns in 2 weeks.